Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you just can't stop talking? You explain every tiny detail of a story, justify every decision you've ever made, and feel this overwhelming need to make sure the other person completely and totally understands you. If this sounds familiar, you might be an over-explainer. And while it might seem like just a quirky personality trait, for many of us, it's actually a deeply ingrained trauma response, often stemming from growing up with narcissistic parents. Let's talk about it. First, let's understand what narcissistic parenting looks like. A narcissistic parent sees their child not as an individual, but as an extension of themselves. Their needs always come first. They often lack empathy, are highly critical, and create an environment where the child constantly feels like they're walking on eggshells. You learn very early on that your thoughts, feelings, and needs are not valid unless they align with your parents'. Your reality is constantly questioned, a manipulative tactic known as gaslighting. You might be told, "You're too sensitive," "That never happened," or "You're making a big deal out of nothing." This constant invalidation creates a deep-seated fear of being misunderstood or disbelieved. So, how does this lead to over-explaining? It becomes a survival mechanism. As a child, you learned that to have even a sliver of your reality acknowledged, you had to build an airtight case. You had to present all the evidence, anticipate every question, and counter every potential argument before it was even made. You explained your actions, your feelings, your motivations in excruciating detail, hoping that if you just provided enough information, your parent couldn't possibly deny your truth. It was a desperate attempt to be seen, to be heard, and to be validated in an environment that offered none of that. This habit doesn't just disappear when you leave home. It gets carried into your adult relationships. You might find yourself over-explaining to your partner why you're 5 minutes late, detailing every single traffic light and unexpected delay. You might write a novel-length email to your boss to justify a simple decision, outlining every possible pro and con. You do this because deep down, you are still that child trying to prove your worth and your reality to a parent who never accepted it. You're preemptively defending yourself from criticism, judgment, or disbelief, even when there's no threat. The core of over-explaining is a fear of being punished for making a mistake or for simply being yourself. When you grow up with a narcissistic parent, mistakes are not learning opportunities. They are failures that result in criticism, silent treatment, or rage. So, you try to explain away any potential for error. You want to control the narrative so tightly that there's no room for misinterpretation or blame. You're essentially saying, "Please don't be mad at me. Please understand. Please believe me." Another layer to this is the feeling that you are inherently burdensome. Narcissistic parents often make their children feel like their needs are an inconvenience. Asking for something, whether it's help with homework or just some attention, is met with sighs, complaints, or outright refusal. You internalize the message that your existence is a problem for others. As an adult, this translates into over-explaining why you need something. You might feel the need to justify taking a sick day from work, or explain in great detail why you can't attend a social event, because you're terrified of inconveniencing someone and being seen as selfish or demanding. So, how do we begin to heal from this? The first and most crucial step is awareness. Recognizing that your tendency to over-explain is not a character flaw, but a learned coping mechanism is incredibly empowering. It's not because you're annoying or long-winded. It's because you were taught that you had to fight to be understood. Give yourself some grace. You developed this strategy to protect yourself in an unsafe environment. It served you then, but it may not be serving you now. The next step is to practice self-validation. You have to become the source of validation that you never had. When you feel that urge to launch into a detailed explanation, take a moment. Pause. Take a deep breath. Ask yourself, do I need to explain this, or do I just need to state it? You have a right to your feelings, your decisions, and your needs without needing to justify them to anyone. You can simply say, "I won't be able to make it tonight," instead of giving a 10-minute monologue about your schedule. You can say, I made this decision because it felt right for me, without providing a 12-point presentation. Start small. Practice with people you trust, maybe with a close friend or a therapist. Notice the discomfort that comes up when you don't over-explain. It will feel scary at first. Your nervous system is wired to anticipate a negative reaction. But when that negative reaction doesn't come, and the world doesn't fall apart, you slowly begin to retrain your brain. You learn that it's safe to be concise. It's safe to simply exist without having to constantly defend your existence. Setting boundaries is also key. Healthy relationships don't require you to build a legal case for your own reality. People who respect you will accept your no without needing a dissertation. They will trust your judgment without requiring a full audit of your thought process. Learning to identify and surround yourself with these people is a vital part of healing. And if someone constantly pushes you to justify yourself, it might be a sign that the relationship dynamic is unhealthy and mirrors the one you had with your parent. Remember, your perspective is valid, your feelings are real, your needs matter. You don't owe anyone an exhaustive explanation for who you are. Healing is a journey, not a destination. There will be times when you slip back into old habits, and that's okay. The goal is not perfection, it's progress. Be patient and compassionate with yourself, just as you would with a friend who's been through a similar experience. If you're struggling with this, please consider reaching out to a mental health professional who specializes in trauma. They can provide you with the tools and support to navigate this healing process. You deserve to feel secure, confident, and understood, starting with yourself. Thank you so much for watching and for sharing this space with me today. If this video resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more content on healing and personal growth. I'll see you in the next one.